wherever and whenever you are. And we are, of course, all in entirely the wrong places, except our new friend and Ignatius. Look at you. New overlay.
Stars.
Who dis? Hang on, let me edit this a little bit and get this all pretty so that we can start properly. And Stephen, you're the right size, but in the wrong place. I'm afraid to tell you.
Story of my life, man. Mood.
I'm too big. Again, story of my life in Japan.
Yeah, I mean,
There we go. I'm the right size now. And
like 6'3", 6'4", or something, right?
yeah, 6'3", yeah. And
I did not know that until I saw a picture of him, and it just was like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I am too large for this country, but it's okay. I'm making it work. Now, we three of us are in the wrong place. Sam, you're exactly the right size, but you're in the wrong place. You're in my seat. So today's guest DM, everyone.
Yeah. I hope you're ready to.
And cue Sam. Action. No, okay, I will. Okay, if you insist. So excuse us, everyone, while Sam just goes on a little journey over here, and I take my rightful place. And Zakan stops being Alora and goes over there. And finally, Edora.
Actually, when we died just then, we did like a body swap.
Swap,
Like
yeah.
a 90s comedy sort of thing. Yeah.
everyone switched character sheets.
Glowing.
That happens there, and I'm very nearly there, everybody. Stick with us for 2 seconds while I figure this out and get everyone in the right spot. And then we are all yours. Oh, that's bizarre. Okay. Stephen, what are you doing? Behave.
Sweet news is that the amount of birds has decreased to 1.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's quite quiet.
Yeah. So, good news in that less screaming overall. Bad news in that our hearts are empty.
Yeah. Is it Odin that's moved on?
Yeah, so Odin, the large African grey, has gone to a new permanent home, and has Val, the little rainbow lorikeet.
Ooh.
Did you get a
They're
new
both
one?
in new, comfortable homes. And we just have our baby, spoiled brat bird, is still here.
Finn.
At the moment.
Little Finn. Okay, and Sam is very, very nearly. You were exactly the right size in the old spot.
I'm not in it, right?
Down here. Okay, there we go. There we are, all sorted. Hello, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all sorted. In the right spot with our new funky overlay here with names and everything. Okay, so now let me do this properly. Reset. Hello, wherever and whenever you are. Scrappy. Just when I was getting started, you derailed me. But in the wonderfulest way, gifted subs for five of you lovely people. Thank you, Scrappy, so much. It's good to have you by, mate. Thank you. And new subscriptions to go along with our new player. Yeah, thanks for coming by, mate. And let's get started here. First off, a big thank you going out to all of the VOD squad, people that catch up with our adventures after the fact, and we're always happy to have you along live if possible, but after the fact, if that's how it needs to be, it's very much appreciated. Thank you. And also Sirenscape, of course, those lovely people down in Australia, and actually with new staff, one from England too, I was happy to see the new additions to their crew. Growing and expanding, as is their ever-increasing set of music and sound effects for your game. Try them out. There are 10 sound sets for free that you can try out, and then when you want to get more, you want all of it, then you can become a subscriber and have access to all of that. And also, wonderful music coming from Dark Fantasy Studio, and then over on YouTube, the channels RPG Music Maker Travis Savoy and Epic Journey. And last but not least, on Patreon, Will Savino, okay, with the wonderful tunes for your ears and for your tabletops be they physical or virtual. And we are joined today by a brand new player, a brand new person who has found themselves lost in the abyss. No, not the abyss, not down there yet. Out of the abyss. That's the good part of the title. You are out of the abyss, which is the best place to be. But you are in the Underdark, and we shall get to that shortly. Before that, allow me to quickly recap everything that was going on last time, as you had finished crafting these giant mushrooms, the Zirkwood mushrooms, into a form of watercraft with which to set out on the Dark Lake and make your way towards the Kuatoa village, where you are hoping to make contacts, get some new gear, and continue on your way towards finding the surface and returning everyone to their homes. However, as Ignatius, our Minotaur barbarian, was resting after all that hard work of felling the Zirkwood mushrooms, just as tough and just as tricky to cut down as any tree up in the surface forests, he was having a rest when your little Darrow friend Bupido approached, and suddenly, going very serious and very intimidating, told you that you would be no longer having any chance of seeing your other friends that were lost down here in the Underdark, or of ever getting back to the Feywild, as he was in fact the avatar of Din Karazhan, the Darrow god of destruction and death, and he was going to sacrifice you in a ritual to himself, I guess. And he used some form of magic to make you helpless and unable to move, as he started to make incisions and cuts into your chest, as he was aiming to array your organs in a ritual circle and praise be to himself. But he wasn't quite ready when this ritual, being the latest in a long string of rituals throughout the Underdark until this point, seemed to be the last straw, or the final piece of the puzzle that was needed, whichever way you want to look at it. And the actual avatar of Din Karazhan tore a rift in the very fabric of the cavern's air and stepped through, praising their follower for doing such good work. At which point, Bupido lost his shit. He was like, no, I am the real Din Karazhan. And there was a god off, which is always good to have. And Ignatius was caught in the middle, as were the rest of you, as you came rushing back to see what had happened, not wishing to split the party. And you came rushing back to see what on earth had happened to your friend, and found this horrifying scene taking place. The avatar of Din Karazhan was aggressive, but very, very unpredictable, as wild magic surges issued forth, some of them comedic, but one of them very, very deadly, as a lightning charge built up in the avatar's staff and blasted all of you, reducing you all to unconsciousness. Now that, and after the fact, I actually stopped and thought about it. If I had rolled better, that could have been permadeath, because you are so small and squishy at the moment. What's your max HP, Alora?
15.
15, yes, and I was rolling 4d10. So getting 30 or more was not outside the realm of possibility by any shot at all. Luckily, I only rolled average, and 20 lightning damage laid you all out unconscious on the floor. At which point, the avatar, gleefully chuckling to himself and skipping around in a mad rage, went off, skipping amongst the mushroom forest that fills this cavern, lighting things afire as he was setting things on fire, and shouting at the top of his voice as he was compelled to shout everything by another wild magic surge. And taking this opportunity, the plethora of NPCs who were with you came running to your aid, and they stabilized 2 of you, but unfortunately, Zakan was still very much in danger. It was then that over from the cavern mouth towards the Dark Lake waters, where two of your group, Shushar the Awakened, the Kuotoa Mystic, and Little Stool, the Myconid Sprout, were sheltering out of harm's way. Shushar protested and reached out as Stool, on his two little legs, came toddling forwards and started to emit spores. The same kind of spores in the way that he has when he's been enabling everyone to talk and use the telepathic connection that they are able to create. But this time, the spores were a different type, a different nature, and rather than issuing forth from the Myconids, they were actually breaking off from the Myconid. And as Little Stool continued to spin and spiral in this ever-growing cloud of these spores that encased all of you, engulfed all of you, creating this cloud eerily lit from without as the mushroom forest burns in the distance, you found yourselves coming back to consciousness. And a quick shout out to those lovely people over at MCDM Gaming and that wonderful new magazine of theirs. There is a new type of race. I don't think it's a race. It's a like a background or what's the word I'm looking for? Like a origin, lineage, that kind of thing. And one of those. I actually saw this after the session, but there's one of those which explains this perfectly. So, everyone, check out Arcadia if you can. This monthly magazine that they're producing over there with all these really interesting ideas and mechanics and subclasses and new lineages and things. Lots of really cool stuff. Anyway, you three came back to consciousness, lying prone on the floor with your NPC friends gathered concernedly around you, and this cloud of dispersing spores suggesting that Stool was nearby. But as you prop yourselves up on your elbows and sit up slowly and painfully, your bodies still racked by that lightning damage that crashed through you all, there is no sign of the Myconid. As Stool had sacrificed themselves and gone completely to pieces in order to create this effect and save the three of you, in thanks for saving them from the Drow encampment of Velkenvelv, and for the memory of your fallen comrade, who had likewise sacrificed herself to help you escape from the camp. As you're pondering this and your friends are asking, are you okay? And all of them are gathered around you, and you can still see the avatar of Dean Karazhan gleefully cackling and spiraling through the mushrooms in the near distance. You hear Shushar, still over in the cave mouth of the exit where you had arrived from, protest and cry out once more. He's like, who are you? And looking over at the sudden sound, you see, stepping out of the cave mouth, past Shushar, ignoring him, and walking towards the group of you, a figure. Corbin, what do they see?
What you see standing before you is somebody who seems a bit out of place for where they are. Their clothing is like I almost said brunette. Is this burgundy kind of really laxed, loose clothing that doesn't really show their shape, but they seem to be femme presenting. They have long braids on either side of them that have beads adorning them. They're a little bit tall. They're not too tall, too short. They're about 5'7". But they have a hood on that kind of covers their mouth. All you really see is like these black lips. It looks like it's an adornment of some kind. But they kind of walk closer and then pull their hood back, revealing a really close shaved cut, and their braids being one purple and one red on either side.
Okay. And as you approach this concerned-looking group, Zakan, Ignatius, Elora, how do you react to this?
Are we still? We're just getting up.
Still
Second,
still struggling to their feet.
Yep. Yeah, you were prone, but you can clamber to your feet. Yes.
All right. Just kind of. Now what? Another one?
How did y'all survive that? What just happened?
Are we still in the fight?
We're
No,
out of
you
initiative
were like
for a
on the
second. Yeah.
ground.
Oh yeah, for a second. Okay.
Yeah, you're okay for a second. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
They sort of
would
like
we
look.
know? Do we know that Stool disappeared, or we didn't see anything, right?
Just as I said there, that there was a spore cloud that suggested he should be there, but he's not there. But you don't know what happened. No.
Can I make a quick perception check to look around at the group that's with us then? See.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ignatius is looking around.
How'd you go, Ignatius?
It was a 10, yeah.
Okay. Yep, no sign. But you're not sure if that's your fault. Or that they're not there.
They kind of look over the three of you and then stop when they see Alora and kind of come over and actually offer their hand to help them get up.
Alora kind of stares hesitantly, but looks them in the eye and takes their hand. Are you friend or foe? Are you here to help us? Are you from here? Where are you from?
Well, not from here. Actually came down here looking. Well, I heard about you. I was trying to do some family stuff, but that didn't really work out because I got lost. But during my travels, I heard about you and your group, and seems like you could use some help. And I'm here to show you that I'm good muscle. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm honored. I'm glad that you're here for my group and not for something else. You're looking for me for a good reason. We're kind of, I just blacked out for a moment. I really don't know what happened, but...
Yeah, that was weird. I heard you were really strong.
I'm not used to fighting these kinds of magical beings, and kind of looks at the Corazon and says, this is a little bit out of my element. I'm usually, on the roads fighting henchmen and other noblemen. I'm not really used to this.
I'm not sure what my grade is yet. That's technically what I'm figuring out.
Okay.
That
So,
abyssal
what are we gonna...
magic user, his powers are out of control. I'm not sure if he's even aware of where he is, but in his mind, I think there are only enemies, only targets, so you would stop him with us. We are welcoming of the aid. And compared to the other two, Zakan is in bad shape, like tattered and like holding onto a spear to support them as they kind of struggle to their feet, like breathing heavily. Where is our friend? Where is old Dean Calazan at the moment?
You could just see the glow, that fire just glowing off around the side, but it is coming back closer. You have the chance to prepare one thing if you want to prepare an action.
Zakan will prepare an arrow into their bow, and they're going to withdraw a bit farther away from where they're coming from. Also address like the group who'd gathered to revive them, and they say, "We're going to try and finish this. If you're going to fight, then stand with us and fight. If not, out of this cave, it's filling with smoke."
How far away is he from us now?
Like 100 feet.
Oh,
Coming
100.
closer.
They are going to take out one of their hands has these like little nail bits on them that seem to have a really weird kind of slick sheen, and then they pull out what's like a hand sickle, and they're like, okay.
Lots of trouble. Elora, what you
But they
doing?
like put themselves next to Elora, like, all right, we got this.
I appreciate the support.
You see, as you do that, Corbin, this Quaggoth.
Roll 20.
Yeah, on roll 20. This large hulking Quaggoth, which you know are kind of a monster of the Underdark, also kind of like stands to Elora's other shoulder, and he's like, Lady Illustrious, yes, of course, I too shall defend your honor. And he speaks very formally and well spoken for a Quaggoth by reputation.
Right? They kind of like double take.
I think you've done enough. You've been very helpful so far. You can back up a little bit. Yeah.
He's like, I thank you. Yes, Buns, you've read that mood perfectly already. Yes. Yeah, there's a love-hate relationship, and it's love in one direction, hate in the other.
What was that? You mean I just met my best friend?
Okay.
Shushari is probably withdrawing, or any of the other NPCs like preparing to fight, or they bringing out their weapons and.
I think, having seen what's happened, they're all very nervous and scared. So I think Shusha will be quickly ushering them back towards the tunnel that goes off towards the Dark Lake, and also I think Eldith, the Shield Dwarf Scout, she's covering their retreat and she's guarding the back of the group, but not sticking with you now.
Good. Yeah. I mean, so as the group leaves.
Umber Hulk maybe. God Avatar? No, thank you.
Our levels.
Peace, bye. Corbin.
Yeah, I would hate to be outclassed by the thing that you're fighting.
Corbin, one thing that was mentioned last week when this Avatar attacked the group is, aren't we supposed to be fighting goblins and things at level 2?
Rolled real bad on encounter tables so far.
Yes, indeed. An Umber Hulk and the Avatar of a god. Good status.
Good thing.
All right.
So, John, the effective range on a longbow is 150 feet.
All right. Yep.
So I think whenever Zikon has visibility for where they are, get withdrawn from the melee fighters, they're just going to let that loose because they assume that Deep Kazan is going to stop until they're dead.
Okay. So yeah, you notch an arrow and wait until you've got decent visibility, and then trigger for that action when he comes out. Okay, Elora, are you doing the same? Okay, Ignatius,
yes,
are you doing anything?
Carrying my longbow.
Now, Ignatius, you have been knocked out of rage by this.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about right now is, do I want to do it now or just wait till he's in distance to dash and attack him? Because I have once he gets within 60 feet, I can dash and I can do a bonus action with my horns to attack him.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about doing that once he gets within range.
When he's within 60 feet, you're going to charge and try and gore him.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Recklessly.
Reckless attack. Okay.
Reckless gore.
It's the only kind, I think. Corbin, are you preparing anything for when when this creature comes back out of the mushrooms?
Yes, the finger things I have are just kind of like my flavor for my darts.
Excellent.
So I'm gonna prepare them so when I go like this, they fly off my fingers.
That's
Okay.
cool.
So and that range is 20 feet. So
Okay. So
if he gets close enough.
Yeah. Okay. So are you gonna move closer? Because the others are keeping a distance. Yeah.
Near Ignatius, who's the melee guy.
If any of my allies go to charge, I want to support them. So that will be the trigger for me running up to get closer and attack. Is if any of them go to charge forward, I'll be like back up.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah. So Ignatius is raring to go, it seems, and as I think you'll say this amongst yourselves. It's like, okay, I'll gore him. You two, like Ignatius, you kind of take over your military background. Kicks in. It's like, okay, you two shoot. I'll rush in and gore. At which point, Corbin, you're like, and I'll be right there too. Okay, right.
I'll
back up. And I'll help. The way they say it, though, doesn't seem so much like they are taken aback by the fight, but like they're used to taking these types of orders.
Okay. Interesting.
John,
Right,
real quick,
yes.
while things were getting prepped and before, like, sort of preparing the longbow action, could Zakan have done healing hands on themselves?
Yep.
Some of those seconds?
Yep, indeed.
Cool.
Okay, so you do that,
2 hit
and
points.
as the firelight starts to get brighter, flickering off the various stalks of the giant zirkwoods and off the caps of all the other mushrooms that are growing at a lower level, different colors, lit by this firelight, as the avatar of Dean Karazhan comes whirling and almost tripping over himself in his just abandon of just the joy of destroying and being free from the abyss, because Corbin, they found out that he was being imprisoned in the abyss, and for some reason there's been some weakening of the barriers or something, and he's been able to escape from the abyss. And he comes skipping and spiraling and tripping through, and you start to hear him cackling and shouting to himself.
Here we go! Always more victims, more death, carnage. Yes, here we go. How about it?
And he comes spiraling out of the mushrooms and comes flying towards you all, triggering
I didn't
your...
like that.
Good.
Right? Should we not be fighting Fluke from Spy Kids 2, please?
We have a deep cut.
So, you may
Nostalgia.
unleash your arrows, Elora, Zakan.
I think Alora probably shoots first because Alora's dex is probably higher.
She fast.
Unfortunately, I only get a 9.
Oh, okay, yes. So, just at the sudden sound of this cackling, manic sound of this, the avatar coming towards you again, you quickly unleash the arrow, but it goes off and embeds itself in the Zirkwood stalks to the side, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Zakan, as the music
That's
goes
gonna
eerily
be-
silent,
Yeah. 14.
also a miss, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
So that goes, also goes wild, as it's just his unpredictable movements are very hard to track, and kind of you're trying to lead the target, like see where he's going to be, but he just suddenly randomly changes direction so suddenly and unpredictably that you don't manage to hit either, I'm afraid. But at that point, Ignatius and Corbin go charging forward.
All right. So me first or Corbin first?
I think Corbin will throw before you make contact, so yeah, Corbin,
Probably,
you can go
yeah,
first.
Okay. And are those any more of those big mushrooms nearby? They're just like trees, basically, right now, right?
Yeah, you're on the outskirts of basically what's basically a forest, of these mushrooms, and you're aware like there was an opening in the cavern where it led off to other caverns and tunnels, and the main body of the forest is away from you, where this
Them
god
are on
is coming.
fire.
And on fire, yes.
and right, and also on fire.
And on fire.
So, yes, I'm going to run forward and do this roll for my darts.
Go for it.
2. I rolled a dirty 20, 15 plus 5.
Yeah, nice.
Hey.
First roll of your game, and today's game.
So far.
not today's game, sorry, but your first roll in the campaign. Excellent.
So I will roll my d4, and that was a 3 plus 3, so 6 damage.
6 damage. Nice. Okay, so yeah, you
Nice.
lash out, and having been told this is the avatar of a god, you're kind of worried about whether this is going to be effective or not. But as they said, it does definitely seem weakened and vulnerable, more vulnerable than would be normal, as your metallic darts, these nails, flash out and go whistling through the air and dig into its side, and it does stop and cackle and scream out in pain
What's that?
as you hit it. And sorry, that damage again?
That face was in character.
three damage?
You said I take 3 damage from that?
No, was that 3 damage from you?
That was 6 damage.
6 damage, sorry, my bad. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. And at that moment, as he's distracted by this pain, there's a boom, 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 boom.
Yes.
How about it,
All right.
Ignatius?
So rolling recklessly.
With advantage.
So that is a hold on.
Or that god.
It's an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Sweet. So I dash up to him as far as I can, 60 feet, I guess, and then bonus action hit him with my horns for 6 points of damage. Piercing. Bludgeoning
Okay.
damage, sorry.
That's fine.
He needs to do a strength saving throw.
Okie doke.
Ooh.
Where is this? Saving throws. -1.
Oh.
Not very strong for a god. Oh, but an 18 nonetheless.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Dang it.
Yeah, Buns, as a DM, I've become very good at saving throws.
Where did these come from? Where were these? Where were these when we were dealing with Vecna?
Sorry.
And if I can, with my free action, I'd like to pull out my sword, my axe.
Yep, swing the battle axe from your back. Yeah, as he's reeling from the blow, if not knocked over. Okay, thank you. And at the top of the round, as those were triggered actions, Corbin, it's your turn.
Okay, so
And Ignatius, you're on deck.
Okay.
So I was. Sorry. Did that hit? How close am I to him now?
You can close the distance. That's fine. You were 20 feet away when you threw the darts.
I'm going to close the distance, and I would like to use a key point so that I can do Fury of Blows.
Nice.
Good point.
Gonna mark that so I don't forget that I've used it.
I just killed the monk I was having to deal with. Now I have to deal with another one.
You do. You wait until we go up a level and I can pick what my specialty is.
No.
Come on. Okay, so that, I don't know if this is gonna hit. It's a 15.
15
10 plus 5.
is not enough, I'm afraid.
Snarf. So I don't hit him, but now I'm all up in his face.
You are.
Hi. I just feel like I ran up and went to go do it and missed and just was like, hi.
Yes. Everyone at home, excuse us being in different spots while Stephen's just doing something over there.
Okay. Well then, I would like to use my other key point so I can disengage so that I don't get got by a guy.
Okay. But
Okay, so
isn't...
now that I'm out of range,
Actually,
that's
well,
my
no,
turn.
because I think you hit and then you choose to use the key point for the flurry of blows. So you don't have to have used that.
Oh.
It's like I think it's
Okay.
on a hit you choose which effects to do.
Oh
Right?
yeah, Flurry of Blows is a bonus action, so it only counts when I hit.
Yeah.
Okay, and since I missed, it doesn't.
So you're gonna use which is the one to move away?
It is called Step of the Wind.
Okay.
Key point to disengage or dash.
Okay. Yeah. So you run in. Go for the punch or a kick.
I go for a kick, and then when it misses, I just kind of land.
It's like just Naruto run out of there. He's like, no.
This was a mistake. I immediately regret this.
Bye. Okay. Yes, and he cackles at your fear. Okay. He knows that you know that he knows.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. And it is Ignatius's turn.
Right. With my great axe in hand,
Yes.
I rage again, my second rage, and recklessly attack him.
Okey-doke.
It's a good thing, too. Oh, no.
Oops.
Never mind.
That
With
was not
That
a
advantage?
was 8. Oh, I was so
Oh.
close to being a natural 20 and then rolled back to that 2.
Okay. He kind of Matrix like ducks back and like comes speaking up with his his eyes gleaming and that mad smile on his face.
No, not for you, big boy. Not for you. Aren't you bigger than before?
Last time we had this fight, just after the Avatar had said, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. The wild magic made the Minotaur grow 10 inches. It was like, how did it know? Okay, so that brings it round to our Avatar Dean Karazan's turn, and he is going to go out for this massive barbarian in his face. Ignatius, roll me a D100, please.
Ooh, again? Woo.
Yes, you
See, we got
you bring your own destruction upon yourself.
49.
All right, so
Ooh.
as he cackles and brandishes that staff, you see the swirling magic start to spiral around it, out of control, and boom, smacks into you. And you brace for impact or some, more of that lightning damage or whatever's going to come your way, but nothing happens. But you get a strange, almost soapy taste in your mouth.
Oh boy.
How do you react?
Immediately open my mouth and try and spit it out.
Nothing happens.
Huh. Interesting.
You good?
I kind of like that, and that was weird.
And he's like, Dean Karazan's like shaking the staff. He's like, come on, more of the lightning, which that's what it sounds like without the voice one on. Sorry, I should keybind it. I think I need to keybind the thing and then I can just quickly put it on and off. Okay, so I'll try that later. Now, that's him and Zakan. There you go, I can sing it for you, Gordon.
Wherever.
La, 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 la,
Feel
la.
it.
Right, like there's supposed to be epic music playing right now. and I'm
There
just
is
like,
epic music playing right now. Yes. we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So yes, Zakan,
can't
what's you?
wait.
So wherever Dean Kalazan's avatar is, Zakan's gonna get probably like as far as they can get within reasonable range for the longbow.
Yep.
Sort of like sticking to the edges and where trees aren't burning and that kind of thing. And they're
Yes.
gonna fire off another arrow.
I got this
Try
right,
to
this-
kind of position themselves to.
Really cool image of you and you and Alora just wordlessly looking at each other, nodding, and then just breaking left and right, just like circling around.
Yeah. I think we're trying to make our way like around behind to sort of divide, his attention.
Yep.
Keep him guessing from all the different sides.
Absolutely. And fire another
That's a
shot.
little better. That's an 18 on the longbow.
That hits.
Good. So that thwangs out for 5 damage.
All right. There is a arrow effect here. Here we go. I don't know if you can hear it over the music, but there it is. Okay. And the damage again, 5? 5 damage, yes?
5, yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So yeah, another arrow thuds.
Mhm.
He is feathered once more. Okay, and speaking of your flanking maneuver, circling dangerously around the other side is Elora Illustris. The illustrious
Lord,
Illustris.
we're really hoping this goes well to impress her new friend and not look like a dud.
Prince Darendil is mortally offended. He's been trying so hard and hasn't got any of this recognition.
Won my affection immediately. 13.
Misses, I'm afraid. Now, come on now. You do remember you can hide if you want to.
Yes, I will
Yeah?
hide.
Okay.
Maybe that will impress them.
What was that? Use that same dice roll, but with your stealth, stealth bonus. What was the roll?
So with stealth. Oh, okay. My stealth roll was 28.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So
20
you,
plus 8.
so you, as Zakan goes one way, you go the other, and you just ghost into the mushrooms and disappear. And then as you come spinning out from round one of the stalks and unleash that arrow, you can shoot with advantage, because you have surprise. So roll 2d20. Take the top. Take the biggest.
And maximum 21.
That'll hit. And the damage on that.
And 5.
Okay, so yeah, you come spinning around from where he had not expected you to be, and your arrow streaks out and catches him in the side. So he's got matching arrows out each side, one from Zakan, one from you, and that is that. Then Corbin, it's your turn.
All right. Let me look at the map so I can see where I am. Before
Actually,
I say what I would like. to
Give
do.
me, let's see here. Zakan, give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Let's see. That's 8.
Okay. Zakan, as you're spiraling around the side, as you got to the end of the turn here, back to the top of the turn order, as you're spiraling around there, the fire is spreading amongst the mushrooms throughout this forest in this cave, and suddenly there's a crashing, kind of renting, tearing sound, and one of the larger mushrooms, wreathed in flame and fire, just comes tumbling towards you as it burns through and collapses down, and you take 2 fire damage as the burning timbers, I'll say timber, the burning mushroom collapses where you were trying to hide and move around. So it's 2 fire damage, please. And Corbin, your turn. Sorry.
No problem.
Dang, that reminds me. Has he been on fire this whole time from the searing smite? Like, I don't think he ever put it out, did he?
He didn't. No, what was the deal with that again?
It's 1d6 per round, unless he takes an action to put it out, or something puts it
Please
out.
stop, drop, and roll. Please stop, drop, and roll.
He thinks this is part of his power because he was already slightly burning from his own wild magic, so he hasn't extinguished this sacred flame that is wreathing him in this power. So you want to roll me that d6?
Yeah, just the one, or for a couple of him running around.
Yes, there's 1d6 per round, right?
Yeah.
I'll give you 2, yeah, because it was while he was out away as well, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so he ran away and then you
True.
That's 6 in total.
Okay, Dick. So yeah, he is looking a bit charred, but not concerned about it for some reason. Okay.
The start of each of his turn. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry,
sorry.
Him, Zakan taking fire damage reminded me.
Yeah, please
If I'm
remind
taking
me.
fire damage, we're all taking fire damage.
You get a fire, and you get a fire, and you get a fire. Okay, Corbin,
but as
how
far
about
as
it?
Corbin is, I was asking about the trees because I wanted to try to climb one to jump and
Damn right.
attack,
Go
like
for it, go
from
for it.
above.
Mhm.
If they're going from the sides, is then Corbin coming down with their sickle
Yep.
from above?
Nice. Okay, give
Okay.
me an acrobatics or athletics check. Your choice.
I'm going with the one that works.
I think I know which one.
Okay, I roll 14 on the d20, acrobatics and +5, so 19.
19, excellent. Okay, see ya. Ignatius, Elora, Zakan, you see Corbin just spring up, and again with those nails, right, Corbin? You just like dig them into the flesh of the mushroom stalk, and it's like
Oh, not the nails. Yep.
Right.
You had to climb up. Yep.
yeah, right. And just like start climbing up the stalk of this nearest mushroom, and then as you climb up a bit, you kind of parkour off it, kicking off with your feet, and just come flying down with your sickle. Now, Corbin, one thing that we like to do over here is what we don't do flanking, the rules for flanking, so you can't get initiative that way. But we like to give out cinematic advantage. So
Aha.
because that was a kick-ass move, you have advantage on the attack.
Awesome.
Yes. Elora finished off the Umber Hulk they were attacked by being like cheerleader, like thrown into the air and coming down on the Umber Hulk from above as well.
I will be able to roll my damage at advantage, you said?
No, the attack with advantage.
Oh, so I just get to roll again. Haha.
Yeah, take double and take the highest. Elora, she's even got your moves, like jumping from the sky, attacking from the
The
sky.
14 was higher. The first one was higher, so 19.
19 hits, so you come jumping down from above, from the mushrooms above, with your sickle in your hands.
Yep. 1d4 plus 13. I rolled a 1. So 4 damage. I get it to be all
4
on the
damage,
same-
okay.
My roll was
Thank you. Okay, so yeah, you come down on the avatar of this god and slash through it, doing a deep cut into its shoulder and across onto its chest as it screams at you in rage. Would you like to flurry of blows this one?
It's me.
Go.
Okay. So.
Let's do it. I'm just gonna look at this, because for my own education here, I've never played a monk. I've been attacked by several.
23 to hit for the
That'll do it.
furry. I always say furry of blows.
Also scary, also scary.
Another 4. So, it's 4 total for my damage. Rolled a 1 plus the 3.
It's a normal unarmed attack. So it is a d4 plus 3.
Yep, so I rolled 4 damage total.
Okay, and you get a second attack.
And
Pop, pop, pop.
Wait. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. 7. That was a crit. It's a D4. I'm happy. It's like they come down from the top and they like into them, and then you just see them kind of like lift up and put both their feet on them and do like a double kick and then kick off to take their sickle out.
But did you roll to hit on that one?
Yep.
Okay, what was the?
Did I have to roll to hit for that other one?
Yeah, it's a second. It's another attack.
Well, I didn't make that one. It's only a 12.
Ah, okay. But that crit damage is somewhere out there in the ether.
In the ether, it'll come when I need it.
Yeah, it'll come.
I
It'll come
remember
back.
you 7.
By the way, you see that little yellow dot on the avatar there, Buns?
Yes.
Yeah, that means it's blooded. Okay, so
Oh,
again,
cool.
another Matt Colville thing. There's a few of those walking around here. Whenever they get past halfway on their HP, I'll put that yellow dot on, and also when they get to 10 or below, that's on their last legs, there'll be a red dot instead. So,
Ooh,
and I will
like
announce
the
that.
health bar in a video game. Give me
right.
hope.
Almost there. Okay, Ignatius.
All right. Going in again, same thing.
How about it?
Oh my.
Is the advantage? No, the advantage
Nope.
has got you. Surely. Rude. Be more reckless. More reckless. Okay, I'm afraid. Yeah, this unpredictably you're like, stand still. It's just like spinning around, dipping and diving all over the place.
Why don't you stay there when I hit you?
And I'm afraid you miss. Now, Zakan, give me that. Hey, since you, give me. Oh, is that Sin?
roll.
Is it Sin? Sin?
Sin's here. Sorry,
Is
I
that
got
Sin?
like super excited.
It's a Sin. Is it the Sin?
I will see.
Sorry, I don't know names. Usernames.
It is.
Hey Sin, how you doing? Thanks for coming by. Okay, so Zakan, give me that fire damage.
Top of their turn, still on fire. That's 1 damage.
All right, thank you. Just let me holler at chat over here. Okay, thanks. Yeah, Connie.
6 on one of those fire rolls.
All right. So yes, that is 2 damage. You said, right?
1 damage.
Oh, just 1. Okay, thank you. My hearing for damage is very bad today. Please bear with me, everybody. If I mishear larger, please do be honest. It's like, yes, max damage. That's right. Okay, thank you.
it was.
As he's still burning and the fire is still wreathing his form, and he lashes out towards. Now that you are all closer, he is going to go for
Circle.
Corbin, this one who has sprung from above all of a sudden, surprising him. But his eyes, his madly eyes dashing this way and that, lock onto you, Corbin. And he's like, and he sees you, and he's like,
Yes, you. I see you. I see you. And
roll me that D100, please.
Gotcha. Wow, wait.
As his unpredictable wild magic starts to surge from the
But
staff.
this is great. Okay. D100.
D100, please.
86.
80. Ooh, down the end there. Okay. So,
Just in case, Zakan is like 100 feet away. Just putting that out there.
Thanks. Friendship.
I did not hide again after my turn, so I'm still out there.
you're hiding at the start of your turn, so you couldn't have, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So, as the wild magic surges up out of the staff and wraps around him and encases the form, there's a shunk, 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 and 3 duplicates of him appear as he casts mirror image on himself. And there's like, which, don't worry, not all of them will attack. It's just you have to see which one of them you hit. If you're attacking him, you might be hitting one of the, all of these. It's like the 4 of them are now like dancing around like Morris dancers, like skipping and capering around in front of you. And it's like, oh, which one's the real one? He's like it's just like losing track of which one is which. And
Did the magic make all of them as annoying? As
I'm
they like
afraid so.
look around and watch them
Absolutely.
dance?
It's mirror image. All traits are mirrored. Annoying is also mirror. I mean, there's a slight decrease. You know, like how light. Like mirrors ad infinitum will go darker and darker and go disappear in the end. Yeah, there is a loss of annoyance in the reflection, but just a little, I'm afraid. It needs much more. Okay, Zakan, your turn. There are 4 of them now.
Yeah, I'm wondering, in kind of a way to support, could I potentially make like a perception roll or something to determine which one is the real one, and then call that out to who's fighting on the front lines?
Afraid not. No, sorry. That's with the spell. It's completely impossible to tell which one it is.
Gotcha. In that case, yeah, gonna seeing that the magic wasn't anything super destructive, is gonna draw a bit closer and fire again with the short bow.
Okay, doke.
We'll say they're maybe in like a 60-foot range now.
Mm-hmm.
That's not gonna do it. That's 10.
Just a moment, please. Yeah, that misses, I'm afraid. One of them dodges out of the way. You're not sure if it was the right one or not. Okay, thank you. And Elora.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna run up close.
Oh, okay.
And try to attack them with my short sword.
Go for it.
So I slash my short sword and it misses. Can I use my?
What did you get?
11.
11. Yes, I'm afraid that misses. Yeah.
Can I use my bonus action to weapon fighting to try and hit it again?
Yep. You have the offhand. Yep.
Okay.
What's the second weapon?
Also short sword.
Okay.
So I don't get my bonus, right? So normally it's +6. So.
The attack roll is normal.
Okay.
So what's
But
What's the attack roll?
23.
That hits.
Okay. So then the damage is without the bonus.
Yeah, just a straight dice roll.
So that would be 6.
Sorry, how's my volume like on my mic? Because I have the music too loud. So
I can hear you.
My choice.
Good for me.
No, I'm worried if I'm shouting like Dean Karazhan is supposed to be.
Doesn't sound too bad for me.
Good. Feel free to turn me down if I start shouting. I'm shouting over my own. I'm shouting over my own music. Sorry. Okay, so what was the roll?
Piercing.
6 piercing damage. Okay, so you just a moment there. Okay, yeah. So you lunge forward with the short sword, missing, but then you spin round with the second one and slash through one of these figures, and it vanishes in a shower of sparkles as one of the duplicates is gone. There are 2 left, 3 in total, and it is Corbin's turn. But as Corbin is getting ready to attack, Elora, you should have stayed away. One of the mushrooms comes crashing down towards you. Give me a dexterity saving throw, please. I love this Japanese chanting in this track.
26.
26, okay, yep. You take half damage as this burning mushroom comes crashing down beside you. You nimbly jump out of the way, avoiding being hit, but the fire does still affect you, and you take 2 fire damage. Which would have been 4. had you not just dived out the way. And you see Prince Darrow's like, Lady Allura, and like being held back by the others.
Stay back,
Eldith.
stay back.
You see
Dangerous.
Eldith. You see Eldith holding him back, and mental note to thank her later. And that's your turn. And Corbin.
Okay, so the one that Allura just attacked shimmered and went away. Is there another one that's close to where they were?
There are 3 of them there at the moment. Yes.
Well, is there a specific one that's close to like the mushroom that just fell? Because I would like to kick them into the mushroom, into the flame.
Nice. Okay. So make me an athletics roll, please.
Athletics. Roll 4.
What was it?
Rolled a 4.
Oh, okay. So you spin and you go to kick one of the images that's there right near this burning mushroom, and you do make contact, but they just grin and just cackle at you as they rolled a natural 20 on their athletics check to resist. I'm afraid. So
I feel better now.
-1, so down to 19. But so yes, that did not happen. I'm afraid, but nice try. And Ignatius.
All right.
This time.
So
this time.
this time it's it, right? With the duplicates, is that a disadvantage or?
No, you just rolled to attack.
Oh, so I can still roll with advantage.
Yep.
Cool. Let's do it.
Go for it.
Oh my. Oh, finally. Okay.
What'd you get?
23.
23 will definitely hit.
All right.
What's that damage?
What's that damage? That's a. Whoops. What is it? That's a 9/11.
Hey, Lizzie, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming by.
Ooh.
Okay, so you bellow with rage and swing your great axe, and it carves into the side of one of the figures in front of you, and it explodes in sparkles and disappears. Welcome by, Lizzie. We're doing Out of the Abyss. Yeah, we are. This is our only stream that's on at this, civilized time of the day. All right. Okay, so sorry, I don't know if you saw that on the stream there, Corbin. Your image is in front of the emote wall. So, like, one of the phoenixes just came out from behind you, like perfectly, like the wings were perfectly out from your back there.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, so yes, there is another of the mirror images destroyed and gone. And give me a d6, Zakarn, as the avatar of the god Dean Karazhan
Celestial fire.
is still burning with celestial fire, yes.
That's a 3.
All right, thank you. So he howls, but still seems to embrace this thing very, very ill-advisedly, as he spins and looks at all of you, like whirling around. He's like,
No, this will not end like this. I did not get out of the abyss only to finish like this.
and he swings his stuff around erratically. There's these 2 remaining images, both swing their staffs around, pointing at all of you, and settling on Allura. Allura, roll me a d100, please. As the wild magic surges up round the end of the staff there. What'd you get?
I like to think it puts up.
A 3.
Oh, wow. Right down the other end of the table. Okay. Thank you. Right, so the wild magic surges up. 88, Eve. The wild magic surges up out of the stuff and impacts with you, and you like tense up as the swirling blue energy spirals around you, and then dissipates. And you look around, and you can see up in the mushrooms. You can see a strange. Let me see if I could got a picture for you. Bear with me. Q. Ah, no. Why is there none? That should be. Hang on. Here we go. Okay. you see clinging to the top of some of the mushrooms nearby 2 or 3 of... I want to see if there's a nice little art handout for this. Not really. Okay, yeah. You see these.
Don't like that.
Yeah, you see.
They're adorable.
Let's see. Let me roll here. You can see 5 of them clinging up, high up in the mushrooms. That they were completely invisible before. So it seems you have become able to view invisible things.
Okay.
At least for a short while.
All right.
Capture one. We'll put a bow on it. Its name will be Tiggle. It will be everyone's favorite.
It's the way it goes. It's the way it goes. Yeah, Buns. Actually, this is Sam's first ever D&D campaign.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I will
I'm
call my
trusting you to be.
No, it's fine.
Trusting you to be a perfect senpai. Okay, so yeah, this quasit. These quasits, sorry, the 5 of them are clinging up amongst the mushrooms and kind of skitching around, just watching out of interest, it seems. But they were invisible until that, and no one else is reacting to them. And
So they don't look hostile.
they're just like hanging out up there. And Zakan.
So yeah, I think Zakan's making their way through the Zerkwood and trying to look for those openings, and is just going to fire another arrow towards the blind spot of this Avatar.
Go for it.
Jeez, that's 8.
That is nuts. I'm afraid you're not. You're kind of. I think you're like indecisive. Who do I go for? Which one's the real one? But you miss both of them. I'm afraid as they spiral around each other. Okay. Are we keeping track of arrows? Yes.
We've been closer as well.
Okay. Keep track of how many arrows we got. Yeah. Okay. Right. Thank you. And as Zakan do that, anything else? Any bonus actions or anything? Laura, you're on deck.
No, but they're going to move in to about 30-foot range now.
Okay, look. So yeah, you come closer, and Elora.
Okay, I think after successfully hitting before, now I'm gonna back up again. Probably like 30 feet distance, and then I'm going to shoot my longbow.
Okay.
And I got a 16.
That hits.
Then damage is 5.
5 damage. Okay. So you skip away out of the combat, out of the danger's reach, and you draw back with your bow. And it whistles through the air, thuds into the body of one of the 2 images there, and poof! It disappears in sparkles and fizzbangs as they go off around here, and we are left with the one true avatar of Dean Karazhan. So well done.
And then I hide.
Okay, roll me a stealth check.
Stealth
Is that the dog or a large cat or a close cat?
This is Zigford.
It is a big furry cat.
So cute.
Egg. So what was the roll, sorry?
13.
Okay, so yeah, you seem to, you disappear off into the mushrooms and disappear behind some of the stalks there and hope that you are hidden away. And, let's see. As you do so, the mushroom you are hiding behind comes tumbling down in a fountain of sparks and flames. I need another dexterity saving throw, please.
12.
Okay. So, you manage to dive out of the way once more and take just 1 fire damage from the falling fungal fiery.
Calls out. They're like, Miss Laura, can you please get away from the mushrooms? Thank you.
It's not safe.
I have nowhere to hide. There's not a lot of place to go here.
Needs must.
Face, sir.
Okay. So yes, and Corbin, your turn.
All right.
Ooh, ominous
I
music.
believe that I will continue my attacking with my darts here.
Go for it.
Shasha.
The one good thing about
That's
the...
it. I rolled a 7.
Ah.
I'm using my real dice. I tried the dice roller. I'm not doing it anymore.
Zakaran, the mushroom next to you suddenly sprouts a fingernail dart dangerously close to your head. It goes thunk into the trunk of this thing. And Ignatius,
All right.
come on.
Finally, let's end this.
Let's get it together.
Go.
That's a natural 1.
And
10.
is it an aversion to wild magic or something that's throwing you off? I don't know.
Maybe it's I just need to be a wild magic barbarian.
His torso is like covered in knife wounds. It's worth
That's true.
mentioning.
I'm
That is
flesh
true.
open.
Yes,
Someone
that is
was
true.
vivisecting him.
That is true. That is true. We'll throw you off your game. And absolutely. Okay, bad luck. Right, and another d6, please. Zakan. As Tindra's angelic rage continues to burn savagely.
Another 3.
3 damage. Thank you. Okay, and he cackles and smiles and goes for Ignatius.
Ooh.
Laughing at you, Ignatius. Give that D100, please.
All right.
As the wild magic surges forth.
It's a 50.
50, right in the middle. Okay, that is the same one you had before.
Oh.
You were 49 last time, 50 this time. Okay, doubly soapy.
Cannot get the soap taste out of your mouth.
By the way, also I think on your turn you tried to speak. You tried to yell out in fury and rage, just bellow out some expletives or something. But as you opened your mouth to do so, only pink foam came spewing out.
It was more like...
So yeah, you are unable to talk
Full
at the moment.
rascals, just bubbles.
Yeah. Okay, so that is that, and Zakan's like, "Ah!" Oh, hang on, let's do this properly.
Die already, die!
And Zakaran, it is your turn, sir.
I know it was flavor, but could we say that Zakan's able to take a dart out of the Zergwood trunk there?
Absolutely.
That was thrown.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like as they're sort of walking up to try and approach behind this avatar, they see the dart hit and they take it out and just in the same motion like throw it to try and hit
Yes.
Dean Calazan.
Go for it. Suspenseful.
That's better. That's better. That's a dirty 20.
That'll do it.
Ooh.
What's the delay on this track?
Let's
There's always gaps in between the music. Let's get more of an overlap.
And then for damage, we've got 4 damage.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, that flashes back. And Corbin, you look over and he kind of smiles a bit smugly at you. He's like, no, like this.
You would not be able to tell because of the mask, but
True.
There's smugness underneath.
That is true, that is true. Okay.
They're a little self-satisfied. And then they draw within to melee range with this thing, tired of the distance, and they pull their spear back out.
Come running at them. Okay,
And
thank
say,
you.
You're not welcome in this place.
Good.
He's like, Rabbit! I just arrived! It is you! You shall perish and leave!
And Elora, attack without advantage as your cover burns down around your very hidden spot.
Right, okay.
Sorry.
So I'm going to try and find cover again.
Sure.
Because I don't learn my lesson. I'm going to try and find stalks that are not on fire, hopefully. So from a hidden position, I'm
Let's
going
roll the
to
stealth check.
my stealth check. 14.
Okay. So you think you've hidden away, and you spiral out, and you were indeed. He did lose track of you as he's looking at Zakan coming rushing towards him, and you may attack with advantage.
First roll was an 8. That's no good. The second roll was a 13.
Okay, total.
Oh, total?
Is that 13
Oh, yeah,
total?
total, yeah, total.
Okay,
13,
thank you.
yeah, 13 total.
Sorry, that is a miss, I'm afraid, as he spirals out the way, and I think you're just nervously looking above to see if things are going to fall. Speaking of which, Elora, I'm sorry, I swear, I'm rolling. This dice hates you. This D4 hates you. Give me a dexterity,
no more hiding.
Dexterity
No
saving
more
throw, please.
hiding. I roll an 8.
An 8. I'm afraid that means you take the full damage, which is 1. 1 fire damage. So that was good timing on the bad damage roll. 1 more fire damage as again another mushroom comes crashing down around you. Dangerous place to be. Dangerous place to be. And Corbin, as Elora is whirling and diving and leaping through the flames, I think she cuts quite a dashing image. There's this like silhouette of this high elf rogue just sprinting and leaping and pirouetting through this backlit fire.
Backlit by flaming mushrooms falling.
Starting to get out of breath.
Okay, go for it, Corbin.
All right. I am starting to. You know what? After he's like, no, like this, like I can see it in your eyes that's the type of thing. Like I'm
Something
not
about the glow behind the mask, yes.
I'm not about to get outdone on my own weaponry. So they go to attack again. Rolling my dice. I almost clicked the button like a fool.
It's right there. It's so handy. It's so useful.
Trust the computer.
It's all the way off my desk.
Stupid algorithm.
That is plus 5. 19. 14 plus 5.
There you go.
Hey.
These are my favorite dice.
For good reason, clearly.
All right, and now I'll trust you for damage. Hey, that's where the crit went. It gave me my 4
It
plus
was
3.
waiting. It was waiting. So, what's that?
So that's
Total
gonna
of
be 7
7?
total for my crit, and that's the darts. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. You were clearly storing it up for this seriously damaging hit as you fling your arm forward, and the dart that's on your nails breaks free and streaks through the air, thuds into his neck, and he is on his last legs. You got him onto his last legs. So,
I ain't got hurry of blows anymore.
have you run out of key points?
Yeah, I used one
Oh,
to
okay.
disengage that
Yep.
first time, and then I used the other on my other foot. I only got 2.
Afraid so.
I
I'm
only get
afraid
them
so.
per level.
Also, you're at range, so it wouldn't work. You have to be up close.
Yeah, you're right.
But
I did what I
anywho,
should've.
that said, Ignatius, now is the time.
All right.
You've been saving it for this moment.
Don't hold your breath. Let's see. Number 1 is not good. Oh, finally. That's a 25 to hit.
Yes, there it is.
Hey.
As you swing the great axe around in a wide sweeping arc,
That is 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
14
Or-
points of damage. Okay,
Black-
so Corbin, as you lash out with your darts and your nails, getting it in the neck, it starts to stagger, and this strange kind of sparkly, kind of almost like oily looking blood is spraying out and like running slickly down its shoulder onto its arm. And as it's like looking at it confusedly as the fire is still wreathing its body, it looks down and looks up, but hang on.
No, I am the Avatar. I am the true Avatar. That was the fake. I am the Avatar. I have escaped from the Abyss. I shall...
And he's cut short as Ignatius.
Literally.
Tell me what happens.
At this point, Ignatius is probably like steam coming out of his nostrils. He's just so pissed. And like behind him, you see the flames from the mushrooms as he just takes his great axe and slashes his head off. He's
Okay,
talking.
so you
Shut
just
up!
bring it in horizontal, just in a big wide and the head of the avatar of a god. Wide-eyed and wide-mouthed, as Ignatius, seemingly trying to shout some triumphant words, but nothing but pink bubbles spraying out of his mouth.
Shut up and just.
Lops off the head of this creature, and you see the body of the avatar starts to get larger and starts to come apart, and there are beams of almost dark purple light spray out from its body. As you remember, when it was bloodied that time, it let off a surge of wild magic. And again, as it dies and leaves this plane forever, one more surge of wild magic blasts forth. Roll me a D100, Ignatius.
Oh boy.
Okay, good. I'm like, oh no, I'm right there. Can I like back away?
75.
75. We're gonna get triple pink bubbles. Okay.
Please don't.
No, it's okay.
Laughing.
Zakan. Ignatius is clearly infused with Tidra, your angelic guide's energies and magic, as he strikes home with this killing blow, as the avatar of Dean Karazhan, this Dero god once trapped in the abyss, escaped to the material plane but now defeated once more, starts to glow and dissipate and vanish. The wild magic surges forth, and Ignatius, roaring in a shower of pink bubbles, also starts to glow, but not with the same kind of purple light, with a bright, almost angelic glow, as Ignatius, your entire body starts to glow with this bright, bright light. Now, who was up close? I think Zakan, you run close, right?
Yep,
Corbin was
melee.
Yeah, you're in melee. It's okay. I think Corbin, you're okay because it has to be within 5 feet. Zakan, I'm afraid, until the end of your next turn, we're out of initiative, so it's okay. But this light actually blinds you, even with the mask. You are blinded by the bright. Is this what happens every time his rage causes this victory? And has he taken on the power of this god, this avatar, as this bright light is shining out, as Ignatius just rises up his great axe and just bellows to the ceiling of this cavern that echoes back and forth, along with the crackle and crash as more mushrooms fall down in the background, crashing down. Sparks and flames surge forward, and you see all of your NPC friends shouting from, like the ones that escaped with you from the Drow camp, like, come on, get out of there! And you all turn, and with the fire raging behind you, all of you backlit there, and Ignatius glowing with this holy light, we see the slow motion of you all running as giant Zerkwoods crash down with big arcs of fire falling behind them, as trailing smoke as it starts to billow and starts to rage even faster, more furious, and you all get into the relative cool and dark of the cavern and the tunnel leading back towards the dark lake. And all of your allies, all of your friends cheer and shout, yes, it's done! We did it! Huzzah! Indeed, we made it! Everyone is okay! And you've escaped! And you all start stumbling, helping each other down the tunnel towards where you left the Zerkwood boats, ready to make your journey out onto the waters of the Dark Lake. And we're out of initiative.
At this point, do I notice that our little mushroom friend is missing?
I think let's see. Let's go with passive here. I think I have you all written here. What's your passive, Corbin? Oh, I don't have it. Sorry, what's everyone's passive?
13.
13?
15.
15?
10.
10?
11.
11. Okay.
Hey,
So,
you're better than me.
Zakan, you notice, you always want to make sure that everyone's together, everyone's fine. as you make your way into the tunnel and escape away from this inferno that's blazing in the cavern behind you, you notice that the stool is missing.
I think they would remember that Stool was with Shushar.
Yes.
At the cavern's mouth, and so they turn to him. They say, "The child, Stool."
And Shushar looks down.
Well, Zakan, I'm afraid little Stool has, moved on.
I see. The spores. Unfortunate sacrifice, but one that will be remembered and appreciated. And they take their Zirkwood staff and with all of its carvings on it, and they hold it, against their forehead vertically, and they say a few words in a language that no one here understands, but it seems like a prayer of some kind.
Yeah. And you remember, Zakan was unconscious, but as the player, you'll remember last week, I said how Tidra had appeared to Stool and beckoned him to join her and to make that sacrifice. Not encouraging to make the sacrifice, but let him know that his choice to make that sacrifice would be okay, and that he would be okay. Which we as players can be happy with.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid, the characters don't know that. But Shushar looks to you. He's like,
I've never seen the like. Do you know anything about it? You are very wise in the ways of the Underdark.
and can you give me a history or survival check? Straight check.
Gonna be survival for sure.
Okay.
Zakan's all about intuition. They are not very smart.
No way. Finn is in your
Even
corner.
still.
Yeah, Finn, you cheer him up. You cheer him up.
Even still, that's an 8.
Oh, okay. I'm afraid you've never heard of anything like this. You've never heard of any effects or any creature that could do this.
Khan just shakes their head. I am not particularly familiar with Iconians. It was like I've not spent much time there.
The Shieldorf scout, Eldith, says, well, whatever happened, let's not make that they gave themselves and give their life for nothing. Let's get out of here.
If they find the light, as all of us do.
And everyone nods, and you start to move again and make your way further down the corridor, further down the tunnel, back towards the waters of the Dark Lake. Let me get rid of this guy. Boop.
As we are going towards the boats and pick them back up and everything, whenever we start to get closer to the shore of the Dark Lake, and if there's a couple of spots where there's like branching paths, Zakan wants to start taking efforts to obscure their tracks.
Good idea. Okay. Give me a survival check to do that.
So that's a 12.
Okay. So yeah, you do your best to make it look like you've taken the other branch of the path and headed off in that direction. Thank you.
They're still leaning pretty heavily on their staff as they're walking. They're not as but in lithe as usual.
Okay. Now, things have calmed down. You are able to talk amongst yourselves at a more relaxed pace. Is there anything you'd like to ask each other?
Is this what y'all do all the time?
Yes. For the others, I think they are relatively recent to the Underdark, as it seems yourself as well.
Yeah. I was trying to find the Blingden Stone.
And at that, one of the people that's been traveling in this large group, a Swerfneblin, with a bald head and various rings in his pointy ears, comes over. Hey, you went to Blingden Stone? Oh, that's where we're from. And he gestures over to a couple of other Swerfneblin as well.
I was looking for it. I heard that you were missing. They say as they kind of like turn and point to Allura, and I was like, so I figured, I'd introduce myself, make some deals, make some connections. I'm Corbin.
Popular as ever, Laura.
And they like clearly, I'm Corbin.
All right, well, nice to meet you. Corbin came at a really, really bad time, really bad situation. How did you survive here on your own? How did you find here all on your own?
Barely. Well, this isn't the same as they taught us at the monastery, but I figured that I'd learned enough. I'd learned enough. And they do that in character where they like say something, like make fun of themselves, and then like fix it and move on. It's like, I learned enough at the monastery that I figured I would be able to protect myself at the very least. And then I heard about you and how you're all, well, female group. And I thought it would be fun. I mean, if you don't mind that I can do this, and like as they're talking, they kind of grow about a foot taller than what they originally were, and like their hair goes in and they get really masculine features, and their voice kind of drops. They go like, I mean, if you don't mind that I sometimes look like this, I probably could stay like this, but whatever you need.
So yeah, as you see Corbin's form just shift and change, like switches, becomes more masculine, older, taller, and then back to Corbin again, right? To the original form, yeah.
At a time like this, I mean, I'm grateful that you would even be interested in joining my group. I'd love to have you, but I don't even know where my other members are right now. I mean, you're such a mess at this point. But we can use all the extra hands, but you have to know what you're getting yourself into here. We've already lost 2 people in our group. So if you're willing to put yourself in danger like that, I'd love to have you join us.
My dad always said that if you're not willing to stick your neck out for somebody, then no one's going to be willing to stick their neck out for you. So as long as you do the same for me, I'll do the same for you.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We are all supposed to be looking out for each other here.
Ignatius, was that you?
The bubble
guy. Like, especially you, bubble guy. And they like point up at Ignatius and go, is that just a thing? Like, do you need help?
Can I speak? Can I have bubbles or?
It's finished. It was 1 minute. Yeah.
Just see one flying out. It's like, I think. Yeah.
Now we've got multiple nicknames. Now, do we call you Poppy or Bubbles? Which is it?
Bubble Poppy.
Ignatius Poppy Bubbles.
A quick question: does Corbin appear to be human?
Yes, their skin is like mine. It's like a red oak tinge to it. The only thing that seems like it's not really makeup is that their lips are that pitch black color, and it seems to be around their eyes as well. It would look like makeup until you were like in their face, and you would be like, oh no, that's not pigment.
Very cool, very cool. So I think as they're walking along, Zakan, who is towards the front and sort of leading the group with the dwarven scout, sort of turns back, listening to the conversation, and says, "You were sent to find this one, indicating Alora. And where is it that you traveled from? How did you find your way down here into the Underdark and learn about Alora's whereabouts?
And sorry, just to interrupt a second before I forget, a huge shout out to Ryutoshi on Instagram, who did the art here for Elora, Ignatius, and Zakan. Even though on their Instagram right now it very firmly says in all capitals, commissions closed, they have agreed to do Corbin's art.
Awesome.
Because I was a cheeky bastard and asked anyway. I was like,
You gotta risk it to get the biscuit. Thank you.
That's a good one. I like that one. Sorry, Corbin.
They kind of look over to you. They don't seem upset that you're asking these types of questions. They actually seem like really excited that people are wondering about them. They kind of give off that power. Yeah, okay. They go, well, I was supposed to. Think, Corbin, think. I was at Black Raven Monastery. I left because I realized that my family only put me there because they wanted me to get stronger and protect them. They can protect themselves. There's a bunch of them. They didn't even realize that they'd left me there. So, I'm gonna be better than them. You guys are witnessing the rise of Corbin.
AKA?
So...
Says Jimja. He's like, come on. AKA, come on, you gotta have a cool nickname.
The Shadow. The Shadow? I'm
Yeah,
testing it.
That
Patent
works.
pending. I don't know how to make any connections like my family does yet. We aren't exactly... And they kind of look around. Legal? So normally my job is to protect cargo. But I don't have... I would prefer to do my own stuff. Protect my own cargo. Make my own deals. Make my own connections. I'll be better than the Romes have ever been. And then they like cover their mouth like they shouldn't have said their last name.
I think Alora puts her hand on Corbin's shoulder and says, I like a person who ventures out on their own to make a name for themselves. I think you'd fit in just fine in our group. If I can find the other members.
Yeah.
If we get out of here alive.
Yeah. Who cares that I haven't picked my discipline yet or know anything past kicking fast? I did pretty good. That was a... What the hell was that? Like, the thing we just fought.
What was that? What happened before we got there?
He was calling himself the Avatar of... Have you heard of this god before? Any of you?
I'd like to do a religion check. I was just at a monastery.
Please.
What was the name again? I just completely spaced it.
Sorry, Dean Karazan.
Dean Karazan.
Which
Alright,
in another world sounds like an amazing swashbuckler.
Hey, I rolled an
DM
18 on my religion check.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, Corbin, at Black Raven Monastery and Zakan, with your time down here and your small amount of contact with the Darrow, you have heard of this god, and it is the evil god of the Darrow, and they worship this god who is in charge of, you know, death and wanton bloodshed and kind of crazed bloodshed, but had not been heard of for a long time, as it was rumored to have been punished and thrown into its own level of the Abyss, where it was a prisoner, kept prisoner on a bejeweled throne, but tortured and attacked by demons from all angles at all hours of the day, and had not been heard of or known, wasn't apparently being worshipped or followed on the material plane. It seemed this Bupido is the first devout that you've heard of in a very long time.
That's considered one of the dead gods that, at least that's how it sounded when I read about them in the tomb library. But then they will relay all of the information that you just said, as if they read it in a book, and explain that that's normally where they hung out, were the tombs of Black Raven Monastery, which were also a library where they found, and that's how they came down here. The tombs. Don't ask me where they were, because I forgot. Like 30 minutes after I came down here and made 3 lefts, and then suddenly did not know where I was anymore. But luckily I already attacked back. Yeah. So it's not that I'm lost, it's that I've been down here doing stuff. And they just go like shifty eye.
At which point, Jim.
I'm not lost.
Jim Jar here on Roll20. Jim Jar like claps you on the arm. He's like, "Well, it's all right. You're with us now, so we can get you to Bringdown Stone. No worry."
Yeah, and if you know anybody that does good sales or wares and doesn't have a way to get things safely up and out of here, once I remember how the hell I got down here, they'll have a way.
I'll bet you 10% of your first commission that I can find the perfect person for you.
You shouldn't make bets with people who hold dices. And they kind of like shake their hand, and because there's like a set of dice that has suddenly appeared there, and they're like, don't make bets with me.
And his eyes just light up. He's like, oh, we are gonna be great friends, you and me. He is a compulsive gambler.
Question for the DM. Did we get there in time to see the portal open that the avatar emerged from?
I'm afraid not. No, he had stepped through, and that had closed up.
Okay. So we just know.
Actually, no. To be fair, sorry, I did say that. When that cool Japanese chanting was happening on the music, I was saying that was issuing forth from the rent in space. So actually, I'll say you did see that. Yes.
Okay. Cool. And then from Corbin's explanation about Dean Kazan being an abyssal god, and if I recall, didn't he say something like, is it his weakening or something like that?
That he was in a weakened state when he came out.
Yes, he was.
It was something to like suggest that more abyssal things might come.
Yeah, he did. He did mention. There was mention that he had been able to escape from the abyss. So like the connection to the abyss was weakened in some way. And that reminds you very much of what Tidra said in your dream when you visited Bitopia.
That portal did close, right?
But after, when the avatar was defeated, that also tore shut again, yeah.
Okay.
Which is something I'm trying to imagine. How do you? I mean, that just seemed like the perfect thing to say. But how does something tear shut?
I like it. It works for a word.
Yeah.
It's always in reverse.
Abyssal.
Like putting putty on something, you just fall
right?
Interdimensional putty.
Just tear more of the material plane to close it.
No.
Cool. So sort of just like thinking all this over, Zakan says aloud, like, not to anyone in particular, but if prisoned God from the abyss came through a tear into this plane, there's certainly more to be happening. There's much danger to be found here in the Underdark beyond what is usual. We should get most of you back to the surface as soon as we can.
Elora, speaking of strange things in the abyss, you saw something. You saw something everyone else didn't.
I did, but I'm going to keep it to myself. I'm not going to tell the group yet. By the way, are we going on the boat now? Are we taking a rest? Like, what's our plan? Are we starting traveling?
At some point, we'll reach the shore of the Dark Lake.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. First you get to the stage of the tunnel where you left the makeshift boats that you had fashioned from the Zerkwood mushroom caps, and you continue to roll them down the tunnel, all working together, whilst scouting ahead and guarding the rear, and you. Once more, as we can see in our picture here on Roll20, come out on the shores of this vast body of water, like a giant lake with these jagged rock spires, stalactites and stalagmites thrusting forth from both the ceiling and the floor, as this large section of the Dark Lake opens up before you. And Shishar turns to you all, and he's like,
Well, my friends, our way lies across the waters of the Dark Lake. Stick close. Watch out for sudden currents. I shall guide us as best as I can to the village of Slulidup. But there are many dangers, both beneath the waters, just as lurk in the caverns and tunnels. Everyone be much at your guard.
Perhaps we should take a rest here to recover from our encounter before we attempt the crossing.
and yeah, after making the rafts and everything that's happened, it is getting towards the end of a day, as you know, as you can judge it, down here, away from the cycle of the sun and everything. And you prop up the rafts ready for the next day and make a camp. Get out, break out the rations. Corbin, I think you have some of your own rations. And you all gather and start talking about what happened. And discussing the loss of your friends and enemies, as it seemed. As you said, you'd lost 2, but that is now 4 that you have lost. As we have lost Bupido, Runt, the orc back in the drow camp, Stool, and of course, our little setter friend, F's in chat. I'm doing that right now.
Speaking of Stool, I think like as they're sort of making camp, Zakan says in common, did we all speak common here?
Some of the
Corbin just like raises their hand, like
very good to hear.
some of
Switches to
the
undercommon very quickly.
yeah, some of the group traveling with you are like,
And then they say the same in undercommon. Like, do any of you speak common, or is it only undercommon?
you start speaking undercommon, they just raise their hand again, like,
yeah, I'll
It's like a very supportive nod in Corbin's direction.
I will let you know who speaks what. I want to troll through everyone's stat sheets right now on session, but yes. So
Seems
you
like at least Corbin and Zakan speak both. So
yes, indeed. And you settle down and prepare for a long rest, ready for your journey across the waters of the Dark Lake. And just before we leave things there for today and make our way, oh, thank you, Blue, for the follow, as we make our way up out of the Underdark, leaving our characters behind us, I'm afraid, but we can leave the Underdark only to find ourselves later today in Barovia, as we will be back with the crew in Barovia. And please, if you can, do join us for that, because there is something very exciting that has been created for us that will be at the open of our Barovia session, Curse of Strahd, today. We have new character art. We have, I'm going to spoil it now because I know none of the players are watching. We have a new intro video to the session for the campaign, a fantastic intro video for the opening of our Curse of Strahd campaign, created for us by the wonderful Patch over at Quest Junkies UK. And we will be debuting that tonight for the first time. Only Patch and I have seen it, and that will be, even the players haven't seen it yet. So come along to find the new overlay, new character art, and a new opening vid on that session. And if that's not enough, join us again tomorrow as we will be plunging into the depths of the Nine Hells as the body of their friend Terina has been laid to rest in Elturel's High Hall, and their resolve hardened. They are ready to venture out once more into the plains of Avernus, and once and for all, put an end to all of this madness. Then, on Saturday, Ignatius?
On Saturday or Friday in the States, we have. Well, actually, we're not having our campaign this week because it's a holiday in Taiwan.
Oh, really? Okay.
We're doing one shot from Candlekeep Mysteries.
Oh, the new book. Nice.
Yeah.
Enjoy. So, everyone, check out Carney Sideshow if you get the chance. And all those of you over there, you are already there. So, yes, please, check them out on Saturday if you get the chance, or Friday evening over in North America. And I'm afraid, speaking of holidays, I am taking, it's not a national holiday, as Elora will, second, but I will be taking holiday next Tuesday for my son's entrance ceremony to junior high school. He's getting all grown up, and I will be taking holiday, so there will be no Rime of the Frost Maiden session next week, I'm afraid, but join us next week as we plunge once more with our new friend Corbin. Thank you so much to Buns for joining us and joining the adventure. I'm so happy to have you. And we will be plunging down into the Underdark once more next Thursday lunchtime here, afternoon down in Oz and New Zealand, and Wednesday evening over in Bunsland in North America. Bunsland. And I will leave you all with that to look forward to, and one little more extra. Speaking of Saturdays and one-shots, April 17th, there'll be a very special all my favorite streaming buddies in one place, as we have two members from Carney Sideshow, Chris here playing Ignatius, and his wife Sylvie, also joined by Patch of Strahd opening video fame, and his friend Ilusha from Quest Junkies UK, and also from the Orangey channel, little Orangey herself and her friend Ives will be joining us for a Humblewood one-shot, April 17th. Humblewood little animal buddies, come and find out what mischief they will get themselves into. And also in May, all sorts of things are coming up. We will be joining up with the Games Tavern for a wonderful, wonderful charity event, a long weekend, which our Descent into Avernus game will be opening on that Friday. And we will be joining them as our Frost Maiden campaign also on their final day. So please join us and all of the other fantastic streams that are taking part in that. And I'm exhausted. We've had Ignatius' things. Buns, are you streaming anything else at the moment? Are you
I'm
in
not streaming anything, not right now.
Yeah,
Coming
the
up
shows.
soon, though, I'm going to be going on a Cuphead adventure. But until then, nothing right now.
Nice. Okay, eyes open for that, everybody. So, thank you so much. I am going to get out of here and dash off. It is the first year of the new school year here in Japan. I have new students incoming. I need to go and get my teacher head on, get the DM head out of the way until we're in Barovia. But thank you all so much. Thank you to the lovely players. Thank you to everyone that came by. Thank you for the follows. Thank you to everyone over on Carney's Sideshow. And we will see you next time. But as we like to say around these parts, matane. See ya.
Bye.